everyone, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two big updates to talk about. One of them I'm actually really excited for, and the other one, I'm not gonna lie, I've got mixed feelings about it. But either way, there's a lot to break down. So let's get into it. So first up, we finally got our first look at Evil Dead Burn, and I've got to say, this already looks like it could be something special. Now, if you've been following the Evil Dead franchise for a while, you already know it's kind of a mixed bag. Not every movie hits the same, but when it works, it really works. And for me personally, Evil Dead Rise was one of those that delivered. That movie proved you don't need the classic cabin in the woods to make an Evil Dead story feel intense and brutal. And it looks like Evil Dead Burn is continuing that trend. From the footage we've seen so far, it definitely feels like we're getting another round of full-on Deadite chaos. You've got people attacking each other, that unsettling energy, and just that feeling that something is seriously wrong, which usually means one thing in this universe: possession. And honestly, that's exactly what you want. Now, one of the biggest changes here is the setting. Instead of a small, isolated cabin, this movie takes place in a large, multi-story house. And that might not sound like a big deal at first, but when you really think about it, that opens up a ton of possibilities. Multiple floors means more places for characters to hide or get trapped, more creative camera angles, and way more potential for chaos to unfold at the same time. Imagine something going down upstairs while something even worse is happening downstairs. That layered horror could make this feel way more intense than previous entries. Now come on, it wouldn't be Evil Dead without talking about the blood. This franchise is known for going completely over the top with it, and I fully expect Evil Dead Burn to continue that tradition. We're talking walls covered in blood, floors soaked in it, scenes that look like someone turned a faucet and just let it run. At this point, it's basically part of the identity of the series. If it's not messy, it's not Evil Dead. Now here's something that might disappoint some fans. We're not getting Ash Williams this time around, played by Bruce Campbell. He's made it clear that he stepped away from the role. So this new era of Evil Dead is really focused on telling fresh stories with new characters. And honestly, that might not be a bad thing. Evil Dead Rise proved that the franchise can still work without Ash, so I'm willing to give this new cast a chance, even if I don't recognize any of them right now. The movie is being directed by Sebastian Vanecek, with Sam Raimi involved as a producer, which is always reassuring. But here's where things get really interesting. There's a theory going around, originally shared by Dread Central, that this movie could actually connect to Ash vs. Evil Dead. And the reason? The house shown in the footage might be the same house used in Ruby's storyline from that series. Production designer Nick Bassett even hinted that the location was reused. Now, whether that means it's actually connected story-wise, or it's just a convenient filming location, we don't know yet, but it definitely adds an extra layer of curiosity. Will it connect to the bigger universe? That's the big question right now. Is this movie fully connected to the rest of the franchise? Loosely connected? Or just another standalone story? Personally, I would see characters like Kelly, Pablo, or even Beth return at some point. A crossover style Evil Dead movie could be insane. Realistically, I think we're still a long way from that happening. Still, I'm excited, and we don't have to wait too long since it's dropping this July. Alright, let's switch gears. We've got a new tease for the next Superman movie from James Gunn, and it's already got fans talking. The image he shared shows a chessboard and a prison name tag labeled Luthor from the Vancouver Department of Corrections. So yeah, immediately people are thinking about Lex Luthor. But here's the interesting part. He may not be the main villain this time. Instead, we could see him locked up, which actually creates a different dynamic. Maybe he's still pulling strings from behind the scenes. Now, the chessboard is what really got people talking. A lot of fans believe this is a tease for Brainiac, who is confirmed to appear and will be played by Lars Eidinger. And if that's true, this could be a big step up in terms of stakes. We're also getting Maxima, played by Adria Arjona, which adds even more to the story. And of course, David Corenswet is returning as Superman. Alright, I'm just going to be real here. I didn't hate the last Superman movie, but it definitely didn't live up to what I was hoping for. My biggest issue? It didn't feel like a true Superman-focused movie. There were too many moments where he was getting beat down constantly, other characters were taking the spotlight, and the story felt spread too thin. And that's a problem. Because if it's a Superman movie, he should be the focus. I'm also not a huge fan of the new suit symbol. When I compare it to older versions like Man of Steel or Superman Returns, those just felt more iconic to me. And I will give credit where it's due. Nicholas Hoult did a solid job as Lex Luthor. In my opinion, a lot better than Jesse Eisenberg's version. If this sequel really wants to succeed, I think it needs to focus more on Superman as a character, give him stronger, more heroic moments, balance the supporting cast better, and just make the story feel more centered. Because right now, it feels like they're trying to build too much too fast. At the end of the day, I'm excited, but also cautious. Evil Dead Burn looks like it's sticking to what makes that franchise great, while still evolving. Superman feels like it has something to prove. And with the seal set for July 9th, 2027, there's still time for things to come together. But that's just my take. What do you guys think? Are you excited for Evil Dead Burn? Or are you looking forward to the next Superman movie? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future updates. I'll see you all in the next one.